Hey guys, it's Cruz here, and as you can see, we're back with the Crystal Palace Master League. As you can see, Scott Dan is looking at being sold to Villarreal for 12 million. So yeah, we sold Scott Dan for 12 million. Scott Dan, basically our second best centre back, but we have better centre backs there who could potentially be better than him in the long run. So in the first match of today's episode, we go up against Aston Villa. We have again 3 matches for you, all from the Barclays Premier League, because we don't go back into the Capital One Cup until January, if I remember correctly. So yeah, so the first match of the episode is away to Aston Villa at Villa Park. Aston Villa's team more or less very similar to as you'd expect. I'm really ridiculously annoyed that Rudy Gestede does not have his ridiculous haircut, and I may or may not actually give it to him, but I need to go and sit in the edit mode for a bit and potentially do that. So yeah, basically that's one of the things I might have to do. It just really annoys me it doesn't have his long afro curly type hair thing. So yeah, anyway, in the first minutes of the match, Vertoux, whatever his name is, tries to get forward. I need to actually change Aston Villa's manager as well to Remy Gard, but yeah, they play the ball about for a bit, don't really get anywhere. Eventually in the 9th minute of the match, we get a strike away with Johan Cabaye, and from the resulting corner kick, which Suarez was taking for some reason, which for some reason actually ended up being it was a blessing in disguise, Cabaye ends up heading the ball into the back of the net from the corner kick to make it 1-0 to us. So it's quite good having Cabaye in that attacking midfield role. Ever since he's come back from injury, he's just sort of dominating, to be honest. And in the 79th minute of the match, I'll be advancing all the way into the last 10 minutes of the match. Castaños on the ball, plays it into Cabaye. Cabaye just waits for Castaños to make the run. He makes the run, and then through on goal, he just pings it past the goalkeeper to make it 2-0 to us, and more or less solidify the win for us. So a 2-0 win against Aston Villa. I mean, the game was ridiculously boring. A lot of shots were taken, but literally nothing happened. You'll see from the stats, because the stats will never lie. So in the last minutes of the match, Suarez runs past about 4 players, gets a strike away, and it comes to nothing. But we end up winning the game 2-0 against Aston Villa. Pretty decent result. Jedinak, of course, he will be leaving in January. A lot of players will be leaving the way it's going, but I will be bringing in some other players in January to sort of consolidate for that. But as you can see there, 12 shots, 6 on target. It could have shown you all 12 shots, but you would have been ridiculously bored considering only 2 goals went in. So as you see here, we actually accept terms to buy Emre Can from Liverpool for about 7 million. We also buy Ignacio Camacho from Malaga for about 9 million, because I was like, it's always good to have more than one defence midfielder. Castaños I was never going to sell, and Brahimi I end up actually buying, I think, for 11 million or something. I adjusted terms to get Brahimi, an attacking midfielder, in, because I need a backup player for Cabaye, and I was never going to sell Castaños in any way. Hull wanted to pay 9 million for him, and I was like, no way. So going into the second match of the episode is against Jose Mourinho's Chelsea, or at the current moment Jose Mourinho's Chelsea. He may or may not get replaced by the end of the season because he's doing terrible in real life, and I have to make the game as realistic as possible. So as you can see from Chelsea's side, basically the only player they've bought is Lucas Piszczek at right back, and they bought Van der Vaart as well. You have him on the bench. It's a bit ridiculous for Chelsea. I might have to go out and just buy some of their better players, likes of Traore and Kennedy on bench, because, and of course Kurt Zouma, he's rated 74, not playing much for Chelsea, probably won't play much for Chelsea in the game. In real life he plays for them all the time, but in the game I doubt they'll play for Jose Mourinho's side much. But yeah, as you see here, Jedinak was captain again by mistake. I didn't mean to keep him captain because of Cabaye coming back in. I completely forgot to do it in the actual proper game plan in the team management section of the game. So in the game against Chelsea, knowing that I had to stop the likes of Eden Hazard, Oscar, Fabregas, Matic, and of course Diego Costa up front, I was expecting a difficult game because I was playing Joel Ward at left back and Martin Kelly at right back. And this game was a lot easier than I expected. I mean, the game kicked off as you'd expect. We run down the left-hand side as usual. But in the 9th minute of the match, Diego Costa on the ball, not really doing much. Eventually plays it into Eden Hazard. Hazard runs past Martin Kelly like he's not there, because he basically wasn't. Gives it to Mikel, and Mikel gets the strike away and hits it just wide of the post. Now, if it was anyone else, it would probably have been a goal. But Eden Hazard and Mikel missed the opportunity, and basically we were under so much pressure in the beginning minutes of the match. But in the 22nd minute of the match here, Zaha gets the ball down the right hand side, eventually waits for Castaños to make the run. Castaños makes the run, pushes Gary Cahill off the ball, gets a strike away. It's a really good save from Courtois, but Castaños just runs in and pings in the back of the net with full force power to make it 1-0 to us. And I was like, okay, so we're winning against Chelsea. This is ridiculous considering that Chelsea are one of the best teams in the game. But we were like not going a bit too overconfident or anything. We were like, okay, we're just gonna keep it like hard and keep it still and stuff like that. But in the 26th minute of the match, Jedinak on the ball plays a through ball into Castaños. Castaños rounds the goalkeeper, gets a strike away, and it's a really, really good block, I think, from John Terry. And then basically in the 41st minute of the match here, they mess about with the ball for a bit. I messed about with the ball for a bit, to be honest, because it was raining and I was like, let's do some skills. And Zaha runs past a couple of players. Eventually probably should have just crossed it a lot earlier, but get a corner kick, and from the corner kick, Jedinak from the corner kick ends up heading it. Keeper makes an amazing save. Jedinak picks it up, tries to give it back to Johan Cabaye, eventually does give it back to Johan Cabaye. Cabaye gets taken out, continues to stay up on his feet, and then the referee eventually does blow the whistle after they get a strike away with, what's his name, with some other players. But basically, we were putting Chelsea under some pressure at the end of the first half, and eventually they do clear the ball with Matic to Diego Costa, and it comes to nothing. So, 1-0 at half time against Chelsea, we were sort of not dominating, but other than their first 20 minutes where they had got a lot of opportunities, they didn't really do much. And then in the 50th minute of the match here, down the left hand side, Oscar picks up the ball, Jedinak takes him out, it gets crossed into Mikel, and Mikel, for some reason, is their most far forward running player, gets a strike away, makes it pretty easy. I mean, it wasn't even a ridiculously good shot or anything. And then in the 78th minute of the match, we get it's a bit ridiculous. I actually do show you quite a lot of this for no reason. But we have the most ridiculous decision you'll ever see from the AI and the referee. I don't know if it's because the player dived, but Mikel plays the ball to William plays it to Diego Costa. I take him out with Maicon, okay, I'm expecting a yellow card for Maicon. I mean, look at that, it's a horrendous tackle. And I get a free kick and Diego Costa gets yellow carded. Was he diving, or did I just somehow break the game? Because that was just ridiculous. But anyway, in the last minutes of the match, Ledley plays in Puncheon gets a strike away, hits off the post, doesn't come to anything. Sacco pips the ball down the right hand side. Eventually he just runs in, tries to get a strike away himself. Really good defender from Eden Hazard, and then Castaños picks up the ball himself as well. And I just decided to play it safe and slow, because there's no point for me to run forward all the time, because I don't need to really run forward because then I was winning 1-0. In the last minutes of the match, where Gary Cahill nearly gives the ball actually straight to Joe Ledley. And then in the last minutes, I mean, come on mate, we were dominating them. MacArthur picks up the ball, plays it to Joe Ward. Ward just pings it back to Jack Butland. Butland takes his time, pings it forward, and eventually Castaños heads it down to no one, and the referee blows whistle. So a 1-0 win against Chelsea. We've beaten both Chelsea and Manchester City this season so far, both by 1-0 margins, but could we continue doing that? Maybe, maybe not. We'll never know till the end of the season. So as you see from the stats, 11 shots, 7 on target, 5 shots on target, 5 shots from Chelsea, 0 on target. Castaños from man of match, considering he did score the goal. And into the last match of today's episode, and it is against Everton. Now, away to Everton at Goodison Park. Now, Everton, of course, we're unbeaten so far in this season. We've not been beaten by anyone so far. And I was going into this game thinking, okay, this is where I'm going to lose, isn't it? Straight away I knew I was going to lose this game. So we ended up having to play Murillo, the centre-back. He got his debut in this particular match. And Everton team isn't even that good, but Lukaku up front is an absolute beast. And for some reason, Tim Howard is just amazing. And they've not bought anyone in particular. I need to change their colour as well. Why are they yellow? That doesn't make any sense. But they had a pretty decent team, and we went into our team playing Butland, Romagnoli, Murillo, Mariappa, Ledley, Much, Cabaye, Lee, Bolasie, and Castaños. Mariappa had to play it right back because Joe Ward was basically dead. With no Friars at left back, Suarez of course had to play left back, so that was fine. But Romagnoli and Murillo, who have never played together, had to play together, and it sort of screwed me over. Because in the 28th minute of the match, Ross Barkley on the ball basically just had no composure playing with any of the players. Butland actually makes a really good save from Lukaku. But from the resulting corner kick, Murillo just loses his marker. Of all people to score a header against me, it's Steven Pienaar. Steven goddamn Pienaar. Come on, it was ridiculous. So, in the 38th minute of the match, Castaños gets a strike away, really good strike, unfortunately goes just wide. 56th minute of the match, down left hand side, Suarez eventually crosses it into Lee of all people, and Lee hits it over the bar like an absolute fool. And in the last minutes of the match, Mariappa on the ball, gives it to Jack Butland. Butland tries to get it forward, but the referee blows the whistle, and we end up losing the game against Everton 1-0. Did we deserve to lose the game? I mean, Romagnoli and Murillo are talking. we deserve to lose the game. We had 9 shots, 4 on target. We didn't have a shot on target. Steven Pierre got man of the match with a 7.0 rating. And for match day 15, so we're coming up to the January transfer window, which will be in not next episode, but the episode after. We're top of the table somehow. With 30 points, we're top of the table. Joint top with Manchester City. So yeah, not too bad. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel for more, and catch you later.